As the fight to become the next SNP leader officially starts, the anti-British values Humza Yousaf releases his campaign video. You might ask, why anti-British values? Well, because Humza Yousaf, who is basically on the one hand going to be Nicola Sturgeon 2.0, he stands for everything that is against the basic British values. Anti-free speech, anti-individual liberty and self-determination, and pro-huge government. Not just big government, massive government. Everything that we, well, especially people, ancestors of the Anglo-Saxons who fought for the values of Magna Carta and Adam Smith from Scotland, and many other things that we've achieved, parliamentary democracy and justice system, going to go out of the window if more people like Humza Yousaf become political leaders. With their political ideology, it's going to be completely ruining everything. If you thought that Jeremy Corbyn becoming Prime Minister was bad, well, there are people who are also as bad, or maybe worse, than Jeremy Corbyn. I'm going to do something. I'm going to quickly, I know it's going to be annoying, but I'm going to quickly show you the campaign video that is done. It's only a minute. And then we're going to be reminding people, for those who haven't been following this idiot, of what he actually stands for. Not just anti-free speech, but also anti-white British, white Scottish, white English, and everything else. Let's go to this video first, and we're going to come back.
The last few days have been a real roller coaster of emotion. And I want to start by paying tribute to Nicola Sturgeon.
Oh, okay.
She has been an incredible party leader and an exceptional First Minister.
Sure.
Thank you, Nicola, for all that you have done for Scotland.
Now you could stop licking her boots.
I've thought hard about it, and I've decided to put myself forward as Scotland's next First Minister.
Yeah, I thought really
I'm doing
hard.
it because the top job requires somebody who has experience.
What?
And I have been trusted by Nicola Sturgeon with some of the toughest jobs in government. As
Trusted by Nicola Sturgeon is not really good on your CV, mate.
Transport Minister, as Justice Secretary, and now entrusted to steer our NHS through its recovery from the global pandemic. But I'm also doing it because I believe in independence with every fibre of my being.
Good luck with that, mate.
I believe independence is needed now more than ever before, particularly after a decade of austerity.
Okay, I'm not a fan of the Tory government and this cabinet. A decade of austerity? You know, austerity. Decade of austerity means at least between 2010 and 2020. And I think he actually means 13 years. We have not had austerity for 13 years or even 10 years. The moment Theresa May became Prime Minister, they reversed austerity. Not that it's fixed everything. Not that the days of George Osborne was perfect or the days of Theresa May was perfect. They didn't do either of those options the right way. But they completely eliminated austerity. They started spending money and raising taxes. It didn't really go well, but we have not had a decade of austerity. We have had a decade of mismanagement economically, not austerity.
Our opponents are desperate to talk about process. I want us to talk about policy. I want us to build and grow our movement from the grassroots upwards. I'm also putting myself forward because, let's be honest, there is far too much division in our society. There's far too much division in our political discourse. And I believe I have the skills to reach across the divide and bring people together. Be that
The man whose policies were so divisive that completely destroyed Scotland. The man who wants the police in Scotland to come to your dinner parties to arrest people at a dinner table for making offensive jokes. Look at that face. Jeez.
in our own party, that ought indeed across the country.
Boring.
So please get in touch with me if you have
okay.
questions, if you want to hear.
Anyway, this is the end of it. Let's just be normal. Let's get rid of this guy. All right. So, just a reminder for those who might have missed this beauty that is Humza Yousaf. We made a video a couple of days ago about some of the worst things about him and some of the worst things he's done as a politician. But I'm just going to add a couple of other things to it. He's very much anti-white people. Watch this.
The Lord President, white. The Lord Justice Clerk, white. Every High Court judge, white. The Lord Advocate, white. The Solicitor General, white. The Chief Constable, white. Every Deputy Chief Constable, white. Every Assistant Chief Constable, white. The head of the Law Society, white. The head of the Faculty of Advocates, white. Every prison governor, white. And not just
Mahyar's mug, white. Mahyar's iPhone, white. What else do we have? Mahyar's wall, white. What is wrong with you? What? Oh. I mean, it's easy for us to repeat the same rhetoric of judge people based on the content of the character and all that rather than skin color, but they don't care. They don't care because they just go with skin color. That's all they care about. We care about values. We care about attitude towards this country and our culture, but they care about optics of skin color and how much tanned you are. Anyway, but he's not the only one. Let's talk about Anas Sarwar, who is the leader of the Scottish Labour Party, who are now doing well because the SNP are so bad. Let's give you a bit of a reminder that Anas Sarwar, who's been pretty impressive, he's also a bit of a nutter because he literally repeated the same things that Humza Yousaf did in the same Scottish Parliament. This is the Scottish Labour Party.
Every chief executive of every council and every government department, white. Every director of a department in Scotland, white. Every principal of a college or university in Scotland, white. Every head teacher in Scotland, white. Every chair of a public sector body in Scotland, white. Every High Court judge in Scotland, white. Every president...
1. Stop banging on the table. 2. Maybe, Mr. Answar, it's because this is a majority white country. Maybe. I think it's just my tiny theory. I don't have any other answer for why everyone's white. Maybe it's got something to do with the fact that these islands are majority white. Maybe if you're not happy, you can voluntarily go somewhere that is less white. I'm not kicking anybody out. So the left are going to cancel me saying, oh, you're one of the poor people. No, if they voluntarily don't like to be here, there's a nice street in Gaza that have nice tall buildings, very tall buildings, and it's great for if you want to throw people off the roof. If you really believe in Gaza politics, then maybe voluntarily there are nicer places for you guys. Venezuela sounds nice. Maybe go there. They're less white as well. But or maybe we should just not care about people's skin color. People care about the constant character, values, and their attitude towards their nation. Maybe you could do that. You absolute nutter. Anyway, let's be nice. We're gonna come back in half an hour. We're gonna give you the latest update on ULEZ, the ultra low emission zones of Sadiq Khan and other local authorities in the country. We got a big update that Downing Street could be blocking Sadiq Khan's ULEZ because he's been exceeding his own powers as the mayor of London. Subscribe to the channel. I'm Mahyar, Tousi, and we are the media.